Okay, I want to explain my theory on fnaf and where the story is headed for fnaf. And I genuinely do think I come up with a good theory of what's going on, what is happening, and what is next for fnaf. And I do want the answer. Why do I believe Gregory betrayed Cassidy? And the reason why I do believe he betrayed her is to keep the mimic walk away. Not only that, to keep mimic walk away, she also was being tricked and manipulated by Glitch Trap. And honestly, I do believe that Gregory knows way too much. If that's the reason why he kept her down, he betrayed her and kept her down there, that means he has to know about the mimic. The only way I can see him knowing about the mimic is Gregory is out with Elliot. And it makes a lot of sense. You have to be Mr. Murray because of the fact, well, who else besides Edwin and Fiona who knows about the mimic besides William Afton? It would have to be Edwin. And I do believe he was the one who created Gregory and why Gregory acts the way he does. And why Gregory just feel out of place in all of this. It's just like, where do you come from? Who are you really? And a lot of people do believe that William Afton created Gregory, and the only reason why we believe that for the longest period of time is because there wasn't nobody else we know who's smart enough to create something like this besides William, especially after the fun times. And now we know that there was another genius around the time who actually I do believe have a lot of similarities to William Afton, especially how the way they want to innovate as scientists. Is like how to put these two are very creative mindsets, two madmen, I would say, trying to create their own Frankenstein, the next big thing. But the problem is, William does have the creativity, he'd have the mindset to create these things, but he doesn't have the brain to fully do it. And that's why we see him awfully fail in the past in creating his drink. But why he was jealous of Henry, because Henry can make magic, and he tried to replicate it with his own and failed time and time again. And he do have good ideas, it's just he doesn't have the full brain to come up with ideas to make it work. And that is why the only other person who could have created Gregory has to be Eric, because he is the only one who is smart enough to have these same type of mindset and ideas. But he actually succeeded in creating it. It's just it had its malfunctions. And that is why I really do believe Mr. Murray was the one who created Gregory, because of the fact Gregory does look like David, his son David. Not only that, we did know that he did beat down M2, the mimic, because it was mimicking David. Maybe David was supposed to, the animatronic supposed to be David was supposed to be Gregory. Or Gregory was made to be a supporting person, his invention for kids. Because we do know he liked to create stuff, especially in people's household. And honestly, it makes sense that if he did what made an animatronic that's supposed to be your emotional support friend and be there for you every step of the way, it makes sense. It would have has to be Gregory's creation and why Gregory was made. Gregory has to be made to be there for people, especially for the kids, if their parents not there. And he just doesn't want anyone else to have the same fate as him for neglecting his kid, not being there for his kid. Because Fiona was made originally to be there as David, as his mother, as Fiona. That's what M1 was. But M1 failed of protecting David because David ended up dying on his birthday. And honestly, I do believe he just doesn't want anyone else to go through the same thing. And that's why he's going to create Gregory before he dies. But we all know how he dies. And we all know that truly we don't know what exactly was he's creating before he died. We know he was creating something before his demise, and M2 really just didn't want to help him because he beats on it, abuse it, and it has so much hatred for him and mock him before he dies. And I do believe, especially how we know about Remlin, that either somebody dies inside of the animatronic or somebody who dies near the animatronic. They so diffused with the metal animatronics, melted it down, couldn't create Remlin, yeah. So I do believe that Edwin died next to Gregory, who was his next creation, who was probably the prototype that he was going to make into his son. That's why he had the data driver to turn M2 into David. Maybe the data driver was there for Gregory. It was meant for Gregory. And honestly, that probably would make more sense why the mimic didn't destroy the data drive for David if he didn't want to be David all this time. Maybe it was saving it because it was meant to be for Gregory. Gregory was supposed to be David. And honestly, that's what I believe. I also believe that maybe if he would have made any other inventions like Gregory, it probably would have been them going around, protecting kids, babysitting kids, playing the arcade with kids. That probably makes sense why it was there for Cassidy's birthday. That all her other friends wasn't there for her birthday. Gregory was late, but he was the only one there, who were only true friends. And it makes sense. Gregory also plays with the arcade. He hacks the arcade as well. And why he know how to fix them animatronics. And I do genuinely believe that Gregory has to be a creation of Edwin before he passed away. Ethan, was it Edwin? Edwin Murray, I believe it was Edwin. But I do believe he created Gregory before he dies. And Gregory escaped to the surface. That's what I believe. And that's what Gregory kept them down there. And why he betrayed Cassidy. Because, she was being triggered. by William, and now she had to make the decision whether or not is she going to free. Is she gonna listen to Fiona or William? Either she gonna free Glitchtrap, like put him inside his data drive inside of the mimic, putting his consciousness inside of it, so she can be immortal, or is she gonna listen to Fiona and put the data drive for David inside of the mimic? But we know the mimic don't wants to be David. So it really now comes down to it. Would Fiona actually succeed? And I do believe the answer is no. I believe Cassidy is going to put the data drive from William inside of M2. It just makes the most sense. That's what's gonna happen next. That's why we have the secret amendment telling us about the data drive to understand what the hell's going on, what is the mimic, and how everything comes together. Especially when the fact she already destroyed that only thing that was kept in the mimic and Glitchtrap from entering. And now Cassidy's kind of doomed. And she's gonna have to run around Murray's. Yeah, she's gonna have to run around Murray's. I forgot the name of the damn place. But yeah, she's gonna have to run down there and try to fix everything. And I do believe she's going to fail. And Glitchtrap's going to be free. William's going to be back. And then after that, we're going to have to run away from it. But I do think eventually we is going to get from Murray's costume, whatever, goddamn, the restaurant. We play Secret of the Mimic. That's where we're gonna take place next. We're gonna get to there, and eventually we're gonna use the tunnel to connect the place to Murray's house. Well, I should say Afton house now, because Afton took over the house. And that's where we're gonna take place after we run away from it. When we escape William, we're gonna have to run inside the Afton family home, and maybe we like learn a couple things about what the hell is going on, why William is doing the things he did, why did Henry agree with William in betraying Edwin, what the hell is going on. Maybe we might find out who's Cassidy, or no, we might find out about Mrs. Afton. We don't currently know anything. And not only that, we currently don't know anything. We don't know what will happen. We really don't know what's going to happen next afterwards. But I do believe what's going to happen next after we hide inside Afton family house, we're going to lead into the bunker of sister location. And that is where I believe the story is going to finish. Down in the bunker of sister location. And I do believe how we're going to put it in to the mimic that William Afton is now control of is by this scooper. And we do know the scooper works, and it scoops up the animal trying to end the rumblings inside of them. And that's how it was put inside of Enter. But I do think that where we're gonna do. I do believe Enter is inspired by the mimic, and I think that was William's creation of the mimic. That's why I don't believe that Gregory it was creation of William. It has to be Edwin. Oh, Edwin Murray. I forgot his name, how to say it. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think is gonna happen next. Yeah, because we already know the motive behind why he doesn't like Afton. Why the only other person can stop him. And Cassidy's gonna have to make a big decision that is going to lead utterly to William being free, him being quote unquote immortal. He chased us and we skate and we go to the tunnel that connect the manor and the house. And we're gonna finally find out more about the livelihood of William Afton is hiding in his family home. Not only that, we also gonna find out more things when we get down to the bunker assist location, where we're going to have to trick William into the scooper room. Maybe Gregory attacks him or something. We're going to lead into the scooper where everything ends. William Afton's going to die in the scooper, and we might actually learn why he killed Cassidy. We don't really know. But that's my one theory today. And I am planning to make 4 other theories, especially why I believe Murray Sr. doesn't trust either Henry and William in the beginning. Why Edwin and William betrayed Murray. What the hell is going on, and what is this secret that Murray was hiding all along? That's this next theory. After that, I'm gonna try to figure out who is Cassidy, why was Cassidy killed, when was Cassidy killed, and why is a vengeful spirit against William? What the hell did William do to Cassidy that was so bad, turn into a vengeful spirit? That's the second theory I'm gonna make next. After that, one is probably figured out, does the games all canon to does the books canon to the games? We've been told it's not, but more and more, parts of the books is given in pieces that explains what the hell is going on in the games, or what is happening next and further into the story. But that's the third theory, and after that, the fourth theory after that is the last theory. Me trying to put the pieces of the timeline of FNAF. Every location, everything that has happened so far, where the timeline for all of this makes sense. That's a theory, my theory.